Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Barber. Ms. Barber, please state your name.
Ms. Barber.
Today is the date and time set for sentencing. We do ask that you adopt probation's recommendation, with the exception of the jail time. I did explain what's going on to Ms. Barber. She's asking for a little bit more time to turn herself in. She's working 2 jobs. She just recently got a second job at a doctor's office as an office manager where she's making significantly more money. She explained to me that is also the reason why she had some missed tests. This new job and transportation issues. She also cares for her elderly father and mother who have cancer. I explained that Ms. Polara's recommendation, in this situation is quite generous, and I think treatment would be good for Ms. Barber. She's willing to get on that immediately, trying to get into a program. She just doesn't want to lose her jobs, Your Honor.
I'm Teresa Poyer on behalf of probation. Your Honor, probation's recommendation for the upfront jail isn't just due to this test. It also is incorporating the positive cocaine test that she had.
Ma'am, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Just that I don't want to lose my jobs. And I need to be there for my parents.
You want to explain to me the cocaine?
Sorry. Oh. My father uses cocaine.
Pardon?
Sorry. My father uses cocaine. And that's the one time that I used it with him. And I'm looking to help him get into it. I'm trying to help him get into a facility, but what do you call it? Not treatment. Treatment also.
Well, you say you only used it with him once?
Yes.
Because I have 2 positive tests. And then you started missing your test.
Well, I started missing my test because I got the new employment, and I got a salary job. It's significantly amount more than where I was than I'm making at the hospital by a lot of money. So I work there 12-hour day shifts, and then I work at the hospital midnight shifts.
Okay. I have 2 positive tests.
Well, I came for the one, and then they called me back and said to come retest. So then they said they sent it out, said that they take 7 to 10 days to come back. So they retested me the one time.
So you're saying it was the same test?
Yes, that's what I was under the impression.
No, ma'am. You have 2. Has she seen the violation report?
Yes, we reviewed it this morning. I think what he's saying, so you tested positive on this,
18th.
the 18th, and then was it the 25th, Your Honor?
Yes.
So he's saying if you used once, why did you have 2 positive tests?
Because I was under the impression that when they called me back.
Public Defender Lauren Pern. Good morning, Your Honor. I represent Ms. Barber. Ms. Barber, please state your name for the record. Ms. Barber. Barber. Public Defender Lauren Pern. Today's the date set for sentencing. We would like to request that you consider probation's recommendation, with the exception of the jail time. I've explained the situation to Ms. Barber, and she's requesting a bit more time to turn herself in. She's currently working 2 jobs. She recently started a second job as an office manager at a doctor's office, where she's earning significantly more money.
They retested it and it was positive.
She went on the 18th. It was positive.
Yes,
You
and then
did-
they called me and said to come back and retest that test.
But they tested your blood again. What the judge is saying is they tested your blood again, and you still had cocaine in your system.
No, not my blood, my urine.
Your urine. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And you still had cocaine in your system. I don't know how long cocaine stays in
I
one's
don't
system.
either. But that's what they called me back on the same day and said you have so many hours to come back and test. So I came back either the same day or the next day, I think it was, and they retested me that day. And then she said it comes back in a week. Up to 7 days, it'll be back. And so that's when I came back.
Anything else?
Oh.
Anything else you want to say, ma'am?
No, I take care of my parents and, my mom just got out of the hospital, so I'm taking more care of her than my dad right now. So I basically work, 16 hours. My brother comes over to check on him while I'm gone.
Ma'am, here's the problem. You are operating at the presence of a controlled substance in your system. You come in, you get caught, you come in, and then you're on bond, and one of the conditions is you can't use a controlled substance. Then you do. And I don't. What you're telling me about the cocaine that showed up twice in your system doesn't make any sense to me.
When I was under the understanding when they called me,
You explain it. If you say what you said before,
right,
it's still not going to make sense to me.
okay. That's what I understood.
The court acknowledges this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute, however, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. Specifically, the alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of intensive outpatient treatment and AA meeting attendance. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, monitor compliance with recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on an 18-month probationary term. You're to pay $855 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, $540 probation oversight fees. When can you pay that?
I don't know because I'll probably lose my job.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete an intensive outpatient treatment, including all aftercare recommendations with status reports to probation. You are to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. I will order 93 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 3 that you served. Defendant is.
Additionally, Ms. Barber takes care of her elderly parents, both of whom are battling cancer. I believe probation's recommendation is fair, and I do think treatment would be beneficial for Ms. Barber. She's willing to begin treatment right away and is looking to get into a program. Her main concern is not losing her jobs, as she's working hard to support her parents. Public Defender Lauren Pern continued, Your Honor, I would also like to clarify that the request for leniency is not just based on the missed tests. It also takes into account the positive cocaine test. I understand the importance of addressing this.
All right, thank you. What are we doing?
That's a matter of preliminary examination.
Discovery is complete. People have their witnesses available the 21st. Preliminary examination will be set in person May 21st, 2024, 9 a.m. before me.
Thank you.
Hang on a second, sir. I don't have it.
Your Honor, I received a report, that notes that the defendant has failed to test on April 29th, April 26th, April 17th, April 11th, April 4th, March 26th, March 20th, March 12th, and then tested positive for THC and cocaine on March 7th.
You? On March 7th?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a resident. Okay, so I was a resident out there. The GPS tether that I have on states that I can't live in the house that I was living in. So I had to come all the way back to Macomb County. Kenneth Overwater is a new attorney on the case. I can't think of her name. Well, I was supposed to be petitioned. None of these places out here will let me drug test without a court order from Washtenaw County. I've called every place around here and each one says I need a court order.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I failed. That's the only reason why I missed all those drug tests. And the one that I failed, I was recently released from jail out there. And yes, I did use prior to.
Oh, that's a problem. No.
So you're in Macomb County now?
Yes.
Which I would ask if you to provide me with the name of a place where you can test. I can submit an order.
He can, that's fine. He can do that, but we're going to have a problem because you tested positive for cocaine. So you got to have a good explanation for it. Otherwise,
I was using.
Don't say anything, Mr. Ruggs. Listen to the judge, please. Sorry.
What I should do right now is revoke your bond. You knew you weren't supposed to be using.
Just what I believe what he indicated was that he had used prior to his arrest, and tested positive shortly after his release.
Okay, I believe that.
I guess within
But then we don't.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's within the realm of possibilities, but so are unicorns. All right, I'll see him on the 21st. He better get tested. We'll deal with it then.
Would you like to explain the cocaine use, Ms. Barber? Ms. Barber, my father uses cocaine. I used it one time with him. I'm trying to get him into treatment and help him get the help he needs. I want to support him, but I understand that I need to address my own issues as well. Judge, you say you only used cocaine once with your father, but I see 2 positive tests. Can you explain that? Ms. Barber, yes, I had 2 positive tests. The reason I missed some tests is that I got a new job with a significant